It is no secret that D&D can be played just fine with dice, a piece of paper, and your imagination. But what if you're looking for something a bit more? What if you wanted to upgrade your RPG experience and add some flair to your table? Well, that's just what I plan to explore today. Hi, everybody. As we sit down for our short rest, I wanted to look over some new RPG accessories from Laserox. Now, I will say the review and the opinions I express in this video are my own, but I do want to make you aware that I was sent these products for free. Even though there's no additional payment or sponsorship, it is an important factor to consider with this review. First up, we have the Dice Shieldbox. Now, there are many ways to carry your dice around. We got bags of holding, hex chests, dice vaults, spellbooks, you name it. I actually have a few of these products myself, so I was a bit skeptical at this new shape for carrying my dice, though I will say it won me over in a few ways. First, a lot of dice vaults have 7 predetermined slots to put your dice into, which honestly is very nice and aesthetically pleasing. However, I very rarely only use 7 dice on game day. I'll bring extra d6s if I'm a wizard or rogue, and I'll bring extra d8s if I'm a paladin. This helps me speed up my combats, and if I'm buying a dedicated chest for transporting my dice, I want to make sure that they're all going to fit in there. I think the Dice Shield box does a good job at striking a balance between a good looking dice box and one that can carry enough dice for a typical player. One thing that does bum me out a bit is the slot at the bottom here. I think it was a good idea to have this segmented section as it brings some visual interest and helps facilitate the magnet system, though it isn't big enough to carry around a mini, which would have really put this product over the edge for me. That being said, if you bring 2d20s for advantage or have a special one for your death saves, you can easily put it in this smaller slot. When it comes to the aesthetic look of the chest, it will largely be up to personal preference. Some will prefer the hex chests or long dice vaults of the world over this one, though I can appreciate that this is the shape of a fantasy item. It also brings a good deal of visual interest as well. For me, one of the coolest parts of this dice chest is the laser engraving option. I was able to send them the short rest logo and they put it on perfectly. I'm always skeptical of laser engraving, but I think they really nailed it with this one. There are no visual signs of overburning, and the depth of the engraving is uniform and satisfying. I'm particularly impressed that they were able to get some of the smaller pieces shown in the logo. The magnets on the chest are a solid strength, but not a hassle to pull open every time. This helps ensure that the dice won't spill out in your bag on the way to your DM's house or the LGS. The foam inside also helps to ensure that the dice don't rattle around and bump each other too much, which I can really appreciate, especially if you have some very expensive resin dice. Now, admittedly, I am a little weird when it comes to logos, but I am personally not a big fan of companies' logos too present on a product like this. Luckily, this one isn't too overbearing and it's on the back side of the chest, so 99% of the time you won't be seeing it anyway. Though I would have preferred a clean backside to the lettering we see here, or even the bull logo that you can see on their website, but once again, that's going to be a personal preference thing. The next product we will review today is the dice rolling tray. So this one is admittedly really simple. It's a square tray to roll your dice. I've been meaning to get a premium quality dice tray for a while now. Honestly, ever since I made my first DIY one 7 years ago. But the thing that's always stopped me is typically the price or just being overwhelmed by all the wood options that companies usually provide. I also never really liked the shape of some of the more popular dice trays out there, especially the fact that some of them have this dedicated area to store your dice. So naturally, this ended up being a really good fit for me, and I actually really like the design of this tray. It's a simple, square design with angled high walls. I like this a lot because the high walls allow me to throw my dice haphazardly into the tray without worrying too much about them flying out and attacking my party member or the carefully placed minis or terrain pieces on the field. That is one thing that I always had a problem with my DIY dice tray and some of the really popular ones on the market. They have those low walls. This tray also has rubber feet, which my wooden dining table really appreciates, and it stays in place really well. Additionally, it features a nice leathery rolling surface, which is really great for my tables. I have a player that plays primarily with metal, heavy dice, and this tray makes me feel a little bit more at ease when they roll it, and this softens their landing. I am the only one in my group to be into RPG accessories like this. I'm always looking for some new accessory to bolster up the play at my game table. So So we always end up putting my dice tray in the middle of the play area, allowing everyone to communally roll within. And this dice tray is honestly perfect for this. Last, we have the most complicated product, the Cleric Character Tracker. This product is honestly really freaking cool. It features so many clever design techniques to aid in the tracking of all the resources that a cleric may use over a campaign. I also just love the aesthetic of this one so much. It uses the laser technology to its advantage in the design. It comes with a bunch of magnets to help you track things like concentration, spell slots, and channel divinities. It also features a really cool death save tracker. They place magnets within these slots so that there is a very satisfying and tactile feel for each progressive save or failure. The HP tracker uses a clever system to make each number seated in place with a ball and slot as well. This product is very creative and sure to draw attention at the table, as it is a fairly large piece. I like that it has a removable character shield to keep track of stats and is dry erase so you can alter them as your character progresses. Mine was also engraved with my very own cleric's name to add that personal touch. I hope that in the future they will allow you to buy just a replacement character shield. That way, if you want to engrave another cleric's name onto the shield, you would have that option for buying another one as well. Overall, I think this character tracker is really cool, though it is by far the priciest item on the list, and it can't completely replace your character sheet, as you'll still need to keep track of your skill proficiencies and saves. Also, if Cleric isn't quite your speed, they also have custom trackers for Druid, Ranger, or Wizard. All in all, I think Laserox is bringing some really neat accessories to the table here. My favorite is probably that dice rolling tray. It's overall a good price and useful at pretty much any D&D table. One of my favorite parts about D&D in general is gathering in person and playing with my friends. I love playing with dice and minis and really anything that is tangible or tactile, and these products really help scratch that itch for me. But what do you think? I would love to know your thoughts on these products or hear about some of your favorite accessories as well, and maybe in the future I'll do a review on those too. If you plan to buy any of these products, feel free to use the links provided in the description. If you found this video at all helpful, please consider subscribing. But for now, it is time to get back to adventuring. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you on your next short rest.